Well, they are really crucial, I must say, because if people turn to psychologists or mental health specialists, they have problems. Problems means they have negative emotions. They are worried, they are depressed, they have some sort of angry feelings as concerns with their close relationships. So it's connected to a negative emotional state. But they also experience emotions during therapy sessions, because some questions could arise really difficult emotions, make them sad, even more sad, or sometimes irritated. And well, therapists or psychologists' emotions are also there, because therapists have their own past, they have their own emotions during therapy sessions. And of course, the aim of therapy or counseling or whatever is to make this emotional state of the client better. So make him or her free of depression or enhance their relationships so that they do not feel that bad anymore in their close relationships and so on. It means that, yes, the focus is on emotions. Emotions that are there between really close people. Parents and children, couples, family members. And the idea behind this emotionally focused therapy is that we all have attachment needs. We all need bonding. It's so basic, it's innate. And if our need for attachment, for bonding, for other people who are there for us, who care for us, is not met, when we are really, well, either depressed or angry or helpless, and sometimes we seek for that connection in a really unhealthy way, and well, we for instance nag. Or for instance, we shout, please notice me, right? But the other person doesn't see us that way. And so there are patterns of negative interactions based on this negative emotional stuff, which is connected to our basic attachment need for bonding. So it's really nice and beautiful thing, this need for emotional bonding, but the outcome which we want to kind of repair or change is really, really bad or well, problematic, let's say it that way. Primary emotions are those that are, well, deeper, vulnerable, and they arise first. They are directly connected to those basic attachment needs. Am I heard? Am I seen? Do they care for me? Is there someone who really loves me, notices me? And if people feel that those questions are not answered, or the answer is negative, they feel sadness, fear, shame sometimes, but they always feel vulnerable. Now, if they feel vulnerable, and they see a person who doesn't notice their kind of, well, basic needs for attachment, but they feel that the person is kind of attacking them, they attack also. So they attack angrily, they show their frustration, and those are secondary emotions. They are kind of, well, not to say that they're more negative, but they are kind of reactive emotions. I show them when I feel threatened and when I feel that I must be ready for fight. Well, therapists in this emotionally focused therapy systems are aware already, but the aim is to make people able to connect to the closed ones, to reach the closed ones, on the level of those primary emotions to show their vulnerability, basically, which means that they must have this secure bond and attachment. And this is a slow process because sometimes people are so reactive already, they do not trust their family members or partners. But the aim, yes, is to change the interaction pattern to a more secure one. In the case of a dispute, the most crucial thing about emotions is to first know some basic rules and logic behind emotions. Why is this person angry? Why doesn't he or she want to listen to my really intelligent arguments, and so on? And sometimes people do not get it at all. Why doesn't he or she listen? Is he or she stupid? The most basic thing is that is to know that if there is a reactive anger, there is no way that the other person will really listen and get to you. I mean, this is hopeless. So knowing those rules behind emotions, when, where, how certain emotions emerge, is something really basic. Now the second step is to control your own emotions, to create this safe environment for the other person to stay calm. Because if the person you're arguing with feels that there is anger or resentment or contempt or whatever already, then threat is there and it's kind of hot already. So controlling your own emotions and being aware of your own emotional state and having certain tools, different tools to control your emotions is necessary. But those strategies are kind of broader. If you start to, I don't know, control your emotions where the conflict is really hot already, then it's well possible, but it's work that has to be done at home, basically. Really, well, handbook-based or textbook-based knowledge of logic behind emotions is necessary. That you know, he or she is angry. There must be some sort of, he or she feels threat. I am threatening to him or her. Can I do something to change that? Or why is he or she feeling sad? What's behind it? Where does this come from? So this knowledge, technical knowledge basically, is necessary. Now the next step is knowing your possibilities to control or regulate and manage your emotions, because well, the more different techniques we have for that, the better. Sometimes jogging, for instance, if you're angry, is one possibility. Sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes it's okay to meditate. You cannot do this everywhere and all the time. Sometimes it's okay to talk to the other person, to express your emotions, but how to express is also crucial. If you start to shout or you start to punch, then it's problematic, right? So having really different ways and tools to control your emotions, it's really useful. I would suggest that you should prepare for that situation, to think what's so threatening for you, why are you afraid, and to practice it. Now they have also virtual reality tools so that you can imagine yourself in the classroom during the speech. But practicing and thinking about sometimes also about the worst possible scenario. How does it make you feel? So, and what your body does also, because it's easy to think that, oh, it's nothing, but your body doesn't believe it. So practice and prepare for that. it's necessary. If you again start to control your emotions right before this exam or speech, it doesn't work like that. You cannot say to your body or brain that now be calm. You must be prepared for that. If people come to therapy, they really often feel that their emotions are not seen, they are not understood. So noticing and being emphatic about their emotions is crucial. And for instance, if parents turn to therapy, they have problems with the children's behavioral problems, then noticing child's emotions behind this really bad behavior, being drug addiction or school problems, it helps the child to open up. Because parents are really often angry. They do not see these primary emotions behind child's behavioral problems. So noticing child's emotions, oh, you must be really sad, you must feel really bad sometimes. It's really basic stuff we must notice. It helps the child to calm down, but also noticing, for instance, parents' emotions is crucial, because parents feel like helpless, they feel really depressed, and sometimes it's also kind of existential stuff, because feeling that you failed as a parent is so important for people who are children. So noticing emotions when clients kind of turn to therapy is something really, I don't know, basic or important if you want to start some connection at all and calm the situation.